Doesn't get better.
Thanks, what? I'm telling you, it sounds like thing in my ear already. Killing me. Do you need a late pass?
Easy there, planning board members.
I do. Oh, do you?
We're popular tonight.
Oh, you want me to start?
No, I'm just saying we're popular tonight.
What?
Don't you? No, McQuaid always counts every meeting.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the regular session meeting of June 21st, 2022. It is 7 o'clock, so we'll call this meeting to order. We have roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Here.
Vice Mayor Suey.
Here.
Commissioner Romanek.
Here.
Commissioner McQuaid.
Here.
Mayor Orndorff.
Here. And I'd like to invite Reverend Murphy to deliver the invocation and followed by the salute of the flag.
Join me in praying. Tonight, Father, we celebrate the class of 2022 and pray that their graduation will be amazing and that their lives will be safe and blessed. Thank you for our city, for its leadership. We pray your blessing on this meeting tonight. Thank you for the good things that are happening. Keep these coming. Bless our leaders as they lead us forward. Be in tonight's meeting. Guide us forward in all things for your honor and glory, for we ask it in your name. Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being conducted in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act of 1975, was advertised, posted, and made available to the public as required by statute. The municipal clerk is directed to include a statement in the minutes of this meeting. Clerk, is there any changes to the agenda?
Yes, Mayor, we had two changes. We had the addition of resolution number 9 authorizing renewal of the Home Consortium Cooperation Agreement for the fiscal year 2023 to fiscal year 2025. We also had the removal of resolution number 7, which was reappointing emergency management coordinator and deputy coordinators.
Thank you. Move on to bills.
Make a motion with that we pay the bills. Second.
A motion and a second to pay the bills. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Suey.
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek.
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid.
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff.
Yes.
Make a motion to approve and dispense with the reading of the following minutes and to proceed with the regular order of business. May 17th, 2022 work session, May 17th, 2022 closed session.
Second.
A motion and a second to approve and dispense meeting minutes. Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Suey.
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek.
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid.
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Okay, public comment on agenda items only. If you have a comment on a agenda item only, please come to the podium, state your name, concern, and please leave your comments to 5 minutes. Thank you.
It'll work.
Uh-oh. Just use that mom voice. Nice and loud.
No, it's not on. Hold on. No,
Is there no plug for that one?
Plug for that
It's
one?
okay. I thought I had it on before. Must have turned
Thank you.
Yeah.
on. Thanks, Joanna.
Patricia Kears, 409 Peach Drive. I have a couple of questions. I know Commissioner Sui, you had addressed in the work meeting briefly the ordinance under 12.1 for the changes in salaries.
Yes.
Are these positions are not currently filled?
The Management Information Systems Coordinator part-time is not currently filled. Supervisor mechanic, this one is filled by someone who is an assistant supervisor, but he's actually assisting no one. So we're creating the position because he is going to be the supervisor. And the sewer repairer too,
Yeah.
we're not creating that position. We're changing the salary, the compensation for that one apparently. But I was thinking that we didn't have it, but we're just changing the salary for that. We're adding the title of sewer repairer too.
Okay. Will they be subject to civil service testing?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of the time, be aware though that many times the civil service testing for many of those positions just ends up being an interview.
Yeah, or the application.
Or the application
Yes.
itself, correct.
Yeah. Okay, my next question is on the 12.3, the ordinance of the land use regulations. I don't have an ordinance number, just the -2022. How will this proposed ordinance be consistent with the municipal land use law?
The land use law that is here.
Yes.
Title 40 allows the removal for calls, and I can get Brock to elaborate some more.
Yeah, I read through that.
So,
That's what the municipal land use law requires as the standard. Our ordinance has other categories that are not in the municipal land use law. The case law construes the municipal land use law, not our ordinance. So this makes our ordinance consistent with the MLUL.
Okay, because when I read through the ordinance, removal for cause, the removal shall be heard and the member to be removed shall be allowed to speak on his or her behalf. A hearing shall be in private unless the member requests a hearing be held in public. But this looks like it's going to be a public hearing. The Board of Commissioners may remove for cause a member of the Board of Adjustment after a public hearing.
If you examine the municipal land use law, this ordinance tracks the language in the municipal land use law exactly.
Okay, so
Okay,
it
the ordinance
mirrors it.
does not. That's the problem. The ordinance does not track the municipal land use law, and we wanted to make the ordinance consistent with the state law.
Okay. Is that the same as the planning board? Does the planning board fall under the same rules
No,
for that?
this is specifically to the Board of Adjustment, because there's a statutory provision in the municipal land use law that pertains to the Board of Adjustment.
Okay. Okay, and then my next question is, the resolution 13.2, do we know what the money is going to be used for specifically?
I do not know exactly what all the money is going to be used for. Some of it is used to pay salary and wages for the recycling coordinator positions. Some of it is used for community cleanups. There are other things that we can use it for, that if those things occur, then we can charge stuff to that account. So precisely what every dollar is, I don't know, but I know what much of it is going to be used for. And that money, a lot of that's based on how much we recycle, how much we take. Like say we tear a building down, we're going to tear weeds down, so we're going to get a lot of credit for tracking the tonnage that is recycled for that.
Okay, thank you. And then the professional service agreement with W.E. Johnson Engineering to award an additional amount not to exceed $70,000. I thought that W.E. Johnson Engineering was hired for do they just do the water and sewer work?
No. W. Johnson Engineering is our city engineer.
Okay,
Mr. Johnson does a myriad of projects for the city.
okay. So it was a non-fair and open process that he was hired or given a contract or
Yeah, I
whichever?
believe it was, yes.
Okay, so we can just double his contract without bidding it out again or without opening
We
that
can
process?
extend the contract is basically what we're doing. I mean, if you want to explain that, we can extend the contract.
Yeah, he's a licensed professional, so it's a professional services contract, and we didn't have an engineer for a long period of time in the prior commission. So there was a lot of catching up that needed to be done. And still is, I might add.
It just feels like at the end of last year when we were hit with legal bills, I think from Mr. Schroeder. That's how it feels. It feels like, okay, well, we won't do it at the end of the year. We'll do it now.
All right,
And-
I'll explain a few things to you about that, right? So first of all, I can do a comparison, apples to apples comparison with what we paid for engineering last year and what we paid for engineering this year. And with that, you'll have to consider all the projects, so I can do that for you if you'd like. Additionally, you will see that we have a lot of development coming in. So a lot of stuff is going to go before the planning board, et cetera, and a lot of those wages are going to come out of escrow accounts put up by the developers. When he reviews their plans, when our engineering department reviews those plans, the escrow account gets charged for them. So it's not, all of it's not coming out of our taxpayers' pocket. Also, keep in mind that we were 3 people down. That's three health plans, so you can just consider that's about $26,000 a piece just for those, not counting the salary and wages. So consider that. Also consider we have another engineering firm, which are designing other projects, okay? So we have AECom, which works on the sewer plant, which we're doing more upgrades to the sewer plant. A lot of that money is going to come through the, I'm going to say the Economic Development Authority. Anyway, there's a whole no, the COVID money is going to be used, a lot of the money is going to be charged to COVID that is being used for the sewer main upgrades and for the improvements at the airport, including drainage, and that's going to include engineering, right? The drainage, the lift station at Ireland Avenue, which is also an integral part of that. Altogether, you're probably looking at, I'm guessing, around $500,000 for that, at least, just for the design phase. Okay, then you have the construction phase. So I believe you'll see us bond, well, and also we're doing road improvements, so you're going to see probably the next meeting a $250,000 bond, because the 2 streets that we're doing this year that weren't done 4 years ago, when they should have been done, when the grant money was there, of course, the price of everything went up. So we have an option to either cut down the scope of the project, which just means we're pushing it off till later, or we could bond for that money, and when we bond for that, we can finish the project. Fortunately, I don't know how many of you remember the RAD bond, Revenue Allocation District, to build the shopping center. So that bond is coming off the books next year. So that was a $10 million bond. So with that, we're going to save about $760,000 a year in payments on that bond. So if things work out correctly, we may just pay the notes off instead of the bonds, if folks understand what I'm talking about. If not, I'll be more than happy to answer. If not, the bonding should still be less than what it is now. So we're going to be able to get work done, and as hard as it is to believe, we'll actually end up with more money left over.
Okay, that's good to hear. And then the demolition of the former rescue squad building. Is there a buyer for that at all?
There is not a buyer now. I've talked to developers that want to develop the area. Nobody has said they want to buy it, nor do we make any deals with anybody to buy it yet.
Okay, because that, I mean, Mr. DeSantis bought GGI and has to take care of demolishing it. So I thought if someone was very interested in that, it should be the same deal.
Well, that's a whole
Not my
different, it's a whole
taxpayers.
different set of circumstances there, and I understand why you would say that, but, you know, I don't believe there's going to be a 15-year tax abatement for that developer either, so.
I would hope not.
Me either. Me too, I should say.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
John Worthington, 204 Southeast Lakeshore Drive, Chairman of the Millville Board of Zoning Adjustment. Tonight, you're presenting on first reading a proposed ordinance to change the rules regarding the removal of zoning board officers. Of all the places to start on our outdated land use ordinance that need updating, that seems like an odd place. I'm having difficulty understanding both the specific changes being made and the stated rationale, given that traditionally, rules and policies are set up specifically to insulate zoning boards, which fill a unique quasi-judicial role from political pressure and manipulation. You state that the goal is to make the ordinance consistent, but in fact, our land use ordinance is already consistent across boards. This change does exactly the opposite of the stated goal. It makes our ordinance inconsistent. Secondly, the proposed changes are either poorly written or are designed to be deliberately vague, opening the door to lawsuits. Let's look at the current ordinance. 3087, removal for cause. The City Commission may remove for cause a member of the Board of Adjustment upon written notice to the member sent to his or her last known address at least 20 days prior to the holding of a hearing, at which time causes for the removal shall be heard and the member to be removed shall be allowed to speak on his or her behalf. A hearing shall be in private unless the member requests that the hearing be held in public. Cause for removal shall include misconduct in office, unexcused absences from a majority of the meetings during a consecutive 12-month period, or conviction of a crime. Now let's look at our proposed amendment. The Board of Commissioners may remove for cause a member of the Board of Adjustment after a public hearing if he or she requests it. Written notice of the hearing shall be given at least 20 days prior thereto by certified and regular mail sent to the member's last known address. So we're stripping away the right to a private hearing, which protects both city employees and board members from being hit in public with unfounded accusations before they have a chance to defend themselves. You're also stripping away the right for a board member to speak on his own behalf. And most chillingly, you're stripping away the definitions of cause, which are clearly spelled out in our existing ordinance. So what now constitutes cause? Malfeasance, missing meetings, political party affiliation? The ambiguity and uncertainty it causes is just bad policy. And what's more, it's unfair to the many dedicated people who volunteer their time to serve their city. It opens the city up to litigation over what cause means. And I fear that an ordinance written with the advice of counsel that is so ambiguous is actually designed to mean that zoning board members can be dismissed at will. This would be an affront to the design independence of zoning boards. I truly hope this is not the case, and this ordinance is just a bad first draft. I urge the Commission to table these ill-advised changes and seek to work with the volunteer members of the city's boards and commissions for a better Millville. That's the reason I donate my time to the zoning board, and I know I can say the rest for the other members of the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, seeing nobody else for the public comment, we'll close that for now. We'll go to petitions and letters, please.
We have none, Mayor.
Reports of commissioners. Commissioner Romnick.
Yes, good evening, Mayor. Good evening, fellow commissioners. First off, congratulations to the class, Millville Senior High School class of 2022. It is a momentous time in your career as a growing young adult in society. First step of graduating high school, then to whatever deem you see fit in your life. Once again, congratulations. Moving further, I try to keep my events in order. Unfortunately, I do not feel like skipping around, but most of these, every one of them, are all very important. Very next big important one in Millville is Millville's 4th of July celebration that will take place at Union Lake Park beginning at 5 p.m. Live music, games, and food are for purchase. All proceeds will be donated to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. The best is always last with the fireworks display starting at 9 p.m. Play Streets will start on July 13th and happen every Wednesday until August 17th. It starts at 10 a.m. and goes to 2 p.m. on Pine in between 2nd and 3rd Streets. National Night Out will happen on August 2nd from 6 to 9 p.m. The Parks Department partners with the Melville Police Department for this wonderful event. It takes place on the fields behind Lakeside Middle School, and the first 1,500 guests will receive a free meal, vendors, games, and music with fireworks at 9 p.m. A welcoming home ceremony. Please join the City of Millville on Friday, July 8th, beginning at 1 p.m. here in front of the City Hall to welcome home Specialist Louis Vargas. On Monday, July 25th, the city of Melville, along with the Puerto Rican Festival Committee, will hold a flag-raising ceremony at Captain Buck Park at 12:30 p.m. This Saturday, June 25th, please join us at Waltman Park starting at 2 p.m. for the adoption ceremony by Positive Vibes Community Group. And starting on July 9th and continuing every Saturday the rest of the month, there will be yoga on the beach at Union Lake Park. $5 per class. Bring a towel or yoga mat. I will not be doing yoga, FYI. That is all
no,
there.
you made me jump in a lake. I'm gonna make you do some yoga. Bring a water bottle too.
Yes, stay hydrated. That is all, Mayor, for this time.
Thank you. Commissioner Hewitt.
Yes, thank you. First thing I want to get out there, I have forgotten it, but it's getting close. Police Youth Week. It's a police camp, 13 years, and just 13-year-old to 17-year-old. It's going to start August 15th. It'll go through that week to Friday. There'll be a graduation at Lakeside for the cadets that go through the program. This is a county-wide sponsored camp by the police departments and the county prosecutor. It will be held at the Holly Heights School with graduation at Lakeside on Saturday morning. And anybody interested in their children or grandchildren attending, applications are available at the Millville Police Department. That takes care of that. Wish my grandson luck, he's gonna be there. Last night we had another fire in town, just to, look at what's done here in town by our public safety departments. Everybody worked quick, saved the house. It was over off of Rick Avenue. Yes, sure, there's damage. Police department was there quick on the scene for traffic control. We did have to call in mutual aid from Cedarville for their ambulance because at that time we had all 3 of our ambulances on the road. They were all called out within 11 minutes. Just to show sometimes how busy public safety does get, but how well public safety, the police department, fire department, and rescue squad handle the emergencies that come up. And with that, I also have last month's stats for the police, rescue, and fire department. Millville Fire Department itself responded to 112 calls, ranging anywhere from a car fire, building fire, trash fires. For some reason, we're having a lot of trash fires in the city. Rescue squad, always the big one of the fire department. They responded to 658 calls. No, excuse me, that's the fire department. That is the rescue squad. 658 calls for service. We only needed mutual aid for 83 of them. Our rescue squad is busy, but they're doing the job. They also, on the fire department end, this is the big one. Inspection-wise, 106. We have 2 inspectors in town. 106 inspections. That's both commercial and residential. Police calls last month, 3,204. It's a lot, but they're doing their job. And with that, I would like to make a motion to receive and file last month's public safety reports.
Second the motion.
I have a motion and second to receive and file the reports, sorry, just want to see, any comments? Roll call?
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Commissioner McQuaid?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm happy to see everybody coming out tonight. I'm going to mention again that we have a position opening in our mechanic shop fleet department for a mechanic. The closing date will be June 27th. So if we have any candidates that may be interested in that position, please go online, print the application out, and return it to City Hall before 4:30 June 27th. That being said, I have some calls and also notices that we're going out for brush that's being put out to the street. Brush will not be picked up until the end of August. You can put them out the last 2 weeks of August. If you do have brush out there and you do get a notice, it's not a fine right now. It's just a notice to remove it and put it back in your yard somewhere where it's out of the way. We do have leaf pickups, but it's going to be with bags. You have to bag those leaves and then put them out with the trash. They'll be picked up on your trash day. That being said, we have some painting that will be coming up in the next 2 weeks, hopefully next week, but weather permitting. And we'll be painting curbs, not just down High Street, but throughout town. So if you know any areas that should be painted or you've noticed that are fading away, please give us a call at Streets and Roads, and we will take care of that situation. Thank you.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Yes, I want to report that, well, due to a comment that was made at the last commission meeting concerning cannabis growers, cultivators coming here, somebody mentioned that they didn't see the plans. So what we're going to do is put the plans on the Google Drive so that any member may access the plans from the Google Drive. If you can't get to City Hall, then you'll be able to look on the Google Drive and see the plans. Rest assured, before any resolution to do with cannabis is placed here for a letter of support, that the background information is done. It goes to engineering. We make sure it complies with zoning, and our business administrator does a great job at that. So, you know, if it will make it a little easier to read. I realize probably some people here didn't realize that it was all available in you know, Ray's office, and maybe that's my fault for not letting you know that, but it'll all be there. It's always there, and now, you know, starting with the next meeting, we'll try to have it all on the Google Drive so it can all be accessed from home. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, from Public Affairs, we have Wanda Somerville, who will be sworn in as the Zoning Board Secretary at the July 7th meeting. She's been a great addition to the Public Affairs Department, and she'll be a great asset to the Zoning Board. I appreciate all her hard work and jumping right in and being super helpful on the floor. The department is working diligently on identifying blight and beginning to develop a comprehensive plan to eliminate the current blight areas, as well as rehab some areas that aren't to the blight point. We are currently working to reallocate unspent grant funding to spread across the city's low and moderate income areas. Some examples of the work we plan to pursue are housing rehab, blight elimination, ADA improvements, and demolitions. I'd like to also just bring up some of the events that I've been to recently. I was at the Rick Avenue Little Free Library grand opening this past week, which was really nice, and Commissioner McQuaid joined me, so thank you for being with us. The 4th grade class was able to raise just over $1,000, and they built 2 free little libraries, one that's going to be at the Rick Avenue, and then one will be down at Delsea Village. I was also asked by JT Burks to come out to one of his Positive Vibe events last night. I showed up in my dress and heels from after the Lakeside Step Up program, which I was asked to speak at. So congratulations to all the 8th graders who are going off to high school. My daughter being one, and I can't believe it. It was a really nice turnout, and it was really nice to see the kids just so excited to be moving on to high school. So I went over to the city park as JT asked me, and they were doing a basketball camp for the week. And I got out there, and the kids were doing some routines and drills, and just watching them. They had no clue who I was and why I was in a dress and heels at the basketball court. And they came into condition and do some suicides at the last court. And they had all the kids were lining up, and then they had all of them doing. There's too many kids at one time, so they broke them up into the groups. They had the younger groups, the younger kids, and then the older kids. And they did it, but they didn't put their best foot forward. They didn't give their best effort. I said, JT, I said, let's make them do it again. And I said, we're going to put the little kids up there, and the first one to touch the end of the court gets $5. I said, we'll do the same thing for the older kids. And so the first group, the younger kids, goes, and they're racing. I was like, let's go. Who's going to get the $5? And one little kid was not so determined. He was going to give up. And I said, don't make me come out there in my heels. And he just was ready to just walk and just be done. So I get out there on the court, and I said, look, I said, I'm in heels. You got to beat me to the end of the course. So he just started taking off. So it was really nice to see them encouraged and just have fun. And then the big kids, they were hustling. They wanted that $5 to go to Wawa and cool down after a practice. And then I was just asked to speak and just give them some more encouraging words. I just let them know that, just be the best you can be at all times. Don't ever give up on a challenge, and always challenge yourself and set goals, whether they're short-term goals or long-term goals. And I told them next time I'll be sure to wear some sneakers. So some fun things that I've been doing around town. It's been great to be involved in the community. I was also at the Complete Care grand opening at the new facility on High Street and Broad Street. It's beautiful, beautiful facility. I know that they are looking to hire. They are only open a few days during the week currently, but they're looking to hire more staff, doctors, and administrators to be able to run up like a full schedule. And then I know Commissioner Romanek mentioned 4th of July. This is going to be a great event. We are also looking for face painters for the 4th of July. We've had a lot of great donations. I want to just shout out to Red on Country, Gary Galloway, and Inspira. They've donated over $2,000 for our Kids Zone for 4th of July. So we really want to make the 4th of July event a really great community event, and for families to come out and for the kids to enjoy. So if anybody likes to face paint or knows anybody who would like to do it, please contact Sam Cruz. Her number is 825-7000, extension 7394. Sorry, this is a long report, so I do apologize. Some fun stuff. Lastly, I wanted to go over something that we got through our emails and today. The New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, the DCA, announced today that its Division of Housing Community Resources will be accepting pre-applications online for the State Rental Assistance Program. Waiting list, excuse me. Pre-applications will be accepted to enter a lottery for a statewide program in the elderly, family, disabled, and homeless categories. Just keep note that this is not a city-run program. This is managed again by the Department of Community Affairs. All applications submitted online during the open enrollment period from Monday, July 11th at 9 a.m. until Friday, July 22nd at 5 p.m. will be entered into a database, and a lottery system will be used to select applicants from the waiting list. Applications for the SRAP assistance will be accepted from very low income households. Applicants must be at 18 years of age or older to apply, or be an emancipated minor. Pre-applications successfully submitted during the open enrollment period have some chances of being selected during the lottery. Those selected in the lottery for the wait list will be eligible to receive the State Rental Assistance Program vouchers as they will become available. If anybody does have questions for this, you can reach out to the DCA at 609-292-4080 and select option 9. The website also that you can visit would be www.nj.gov/DCA. And I think that's all I have for this evening, so thank you. Moving on to ordinances in the second reading.
We have none tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. And then ordinances in the first reading.
Okay, our first ordinance on first reading is an ordinance amending the compensation for the following titles, and it's Management Information Systems Coordinator part-time with a minimum of $7,000, a maximum of $40,000, and Supervising Mechanic with a minimum of $25,000, a maximum of $75,000, and also the ordinance adding the following new title, which is Sewer Repair 2 with a minimum of $15 an hour and a maximum of $28.22 per hour.
Move the ordinance on first reading with second reading on
July 5th.
July 5th? July 5th.
Second motion.
I have a motion and second on ordinance number 1. Any comments?
I'd just like to make one on the sewer repair too. This title is being added so that we can compete with other sewer utilities that tend to want to steal our people. So we get skilled people, they get licenses, and then Land Sewerage Authority wants to snatch them up, or some other sewer authority wants to snatch them up. So we pay for their training and their experience, and then they sometimes leave. So this is to make our salary comparable with theirs, and then hopefully the people will want to stay here. The rest I think I've already talked about earlier.
Thank you. So we have a first and a second on that. Any, good? Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Our second ordinance is an ordinance amending Millville City Code, Chapter 61, Streets and Roads Department, Section 55, curbside collection of yard waste.
Motion to move it?
Second motion.
I have a motion, second ordinance number 2. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 3 is an ordinance amending Millville City Code, Chapter 30, Land Use Regulations, Section 87, removal for cause, in order to make grounds for removal of board members consistent with the municipal land use law.
Move the ordinance on first reading with second reading on July 5th, was that?
Yep.
Yes.
Second motion.
A motion and second on ordinance number 3. Any comments?
Yes. So if you look at 45:55D-69 concerning the zoning board of adjustment, and it's the law as enacted by our state legislatures, you will see that a member, after public hearing, if he requested, be removed by the governing body for cause. So that's right out of the law. So our ordinance will be perfectly consistent with the law. Now, while our speaker was correct, they are an independent, somewhat independent judicial board, they are also required to follow laws and rules. Some of those have not been followed. That became apparent to me when I attended a couple zoning board meetings and watched what was occurring. And there were some complaints by zoning board members, so I decided, well, maybe they're right, so maybe I should look into what's going on and see if we're not providing the services to the zoning board that we're supposed to, we're supposed to require. Turns out, we're doing what we're supposed to do. Some of the stuff is not being done by the zoning board. I look for certain reports that are supposed to be filed annually to the commission. They have not been filed. So, will this make it easier than probably our ordinance? Yes, it will make it easier to remove those that are not following rules and laws, which is probably what should be done and what the legislature allows for. So that's why I think we need to adjust this in addition to being consistent with the land use law.
Vice Mayor, can I make a comment? The ordinance as it's currently drawn provides for a private hearing. That's contrary to state law. If there's a hearing, it has to be a public hearing, not only under the statute, which is NJSA 40:55D-69, which, by the way, that's the municipal land use law, but in addition, under the Open Public Meetings Act, I don't think you can have a private hearing in this type of a situation. I don't think it would be legal. The other thing I would say is that the term for cause, which is in the statute that the Vice Mayor just read, that's a legal term of art. That has meaning. There are a lot of cases out there that have been decided and reported in New Jersey that define what for cause means. Can't be just anything. There's got to be a certain level or standard of evidence that's presented.
Thank you, Brock. Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 4 is an ordinance of the City of Millville creating a new chapter in the city code to impose a transfer tax on the sale of cannabis by licensed businesses operating in the city and a user tax on concurrent license holders operating more than one cannabis establishment.
I make a motion on resolution item number 4.
Second.
I have a motion and second on ordinance number 4. Any comments?
We just need to do this. We're gonna collect that transfer tax. If we don't have the ordinance, then we won't be collecting the tax, and that wouldn't be a good thing.
So Sorry, I mean to chuckle if anybody saw what you just did.
What did I do with my glasses?
Yeah, you just popped it down on your nose, sorry. So we're gonna be able to benefit, it's a benefit to the city. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Wondorf?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 5 is an ordinance amending Millville City Code, Chapter 39, Motor Vehicle and Traffic Regulations to repeal and replace Article 10, Schedules, with comprehensive regulations designed to curb the illegal use of ATVs and other off-road vehicles on public streets and roads.
Make the motion.
Second motion.
I have a motion and second on ordinance number 5. Any comments?
Yes. We discussed and we brought forward an ordinance last meeting concerning the fueling of unregistered and ridden dirt bikes and four-wheelers to the gas stations, basically making it illegal to fuel those vehicles. I gotta clarify because we've been getting some calls. This does not affect any dirt bike or four-wheeler that is on a trailer, for instance, going to Field of Dreams. It does not affect any landscapers with getting their equipment fueled. We have had calls on that. So I just wanted to make that clear. But now, in the course of a couple of weeks, we have a new directive that's been brought forward actually in January. Now it's just being brought to our attention. Governor Murphy, I'll read this to you, I'll be quick. Governor Murphy signed into law January 2022 regarding dirt bikes and ATVs ridden on public roads. In short, it allows for the impound, it's important now, and with the enactment of a specific ordinance, which is what we're talking about now, of ATVs, dirt bikes being operated illegally on public roadways. It gives the violation code. We'll skip that. First off, what's happened?
Left out the forfeiture, that's what it's doing.
Yes, and these will be impounded and forfeited. They're now going to be considered contraband by the state of New Jersey, which now all the cities can do. Atlantic City did it, Pleasantville did it, we're doing it, Bridgeton, Vineland's doing it, everybody's doing it. Offenses for the first offense, and even includes snowmobiles, just to be clear. Snowmobile, ATV, or dirt bike shall be impounded for not less than 7 days and shall be released to the registered owner upon proof of registration and insurance and payment of a fee of $500 payable to the municipality, plus reasonable towing and storage costs. Second offense, minimum impound length is 14 days and the fee is $750 plus costs. If the registered owner does not come to claim their impounded snowmobile, ATV, or dirt bike after the required impound period, the impounded snowmobile, ATV, or dirt bike may be sold at public auction with proper notice to the owner. All proceeds from the sale in this matter, in excess of court fees, costs, and legal fees, shall be returned to the owner or to unclaimed funds in the city budget. If the snowmobile, ATV, or bike is leased, the lessor can claim it without payment, and the lessee will be responsible for fees and costs. Subsection E of this statute permits a municipality to enact an ordinance, which we're doing now, declaring that an ATV or dirt bike operated on public road is in violation of NJSA 39:3C-17, poses an imminent threat to the public health, safety, or welfare, and designates any ATV or dirt bike so operated as contraband and subject to forfeiture. So we made a move last meeting that we thought would make a difference. It has made a difference. Now the state's behind us, the prosecutor's behind us. It's a lot longer than this, but I think it's a big step forward. Please, people out there watching, listening, our police department and all police departments in the state of New Jersey are still not allowed by law to pursue or chase these illegal dirt bikes and four-wheelers. They can sure enough just follow them down the road. Or a neighbor can say, you know, that's where that dirt bike goes. Then they can take it. There's still no chasing, there's no pursuits. That's still against the law. Because it's a danger. It's a danger to us driving our vehicles. It's a danger to the person operating the dirt bike or the four-wheeler. But this does give the law a lot more teeth. It opens up lots of possibilities to get these off the road to our police department. With that being said, this will go into effect. We're going to do first reading tonight. We'll do second reading in 2 weeks, but it goes into effect August 1st. So let's just look forward to a change of the dirt bikes, four-wheelers. That's all.
Yes. Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
Consent agenda items.
Okay, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the Board of Commissioners and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a governing body member so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Item 1 is a resolution authorizing the issuance of alcoholic beverage licenses that have met the renewal conditions for July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023. Item 2 is a resolution authorizing the insertion of an additional item of revenue in the calendar year 2022 budget, which is now available as revenue from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection Clean Communities Program in the amount of $65,725.11. Item 3 is a resolution authorizing the insertion of an additional item of revenue in the calendar year 2022 budget, which is now available as revenue from the County of Cumberland Municipal Alliance on Alcoholism Drug Abuse in the amount of $14,305. Item 4 is a resolution authorizing the cancellation of various receivable balances from the balance sheet of the federal and state grants fund balance cancellations, which have either 1, expired, 2, a portion has been requested of the agency to be canceled, or 3, have been deemed uncollectible. Item 5 is a resolution authorizing the tax collector to cancel the special assessment in the amount of $1,642.80 against the property of 506 North High Street, further known as Block 356, Lot 11. Item 6 is a resolution authorizing special assessment of municipal liens for certain properties due to expenses incurred by the City of Millville relating to cut and clean plus administrative fees in accordance with Chapter 11, Article 6 of the Municipal Code. Item 7 is a resolution authorizing adjustments in the tax and utility records. Just need a motion.
I make a motion to approve all items on the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve all consent agenda items, excuse me. Comments? Roll call?
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Resolutions?
All right, item 1 is a resolution amending Resolution 204-2022, approving resolution of support for Third Eye Farms LLC, which erroneously provided the property known as Block 125, Lot 31.01 and 31.02, right? 257 Cedar, when in fact it should be Block 125, Lots 30.01, 31, and 32. 2567 Cedar Street.
Make motion.
Second motion.
I have a motion and a second on resolution number 1. Any comments?
Yeah, these were typographical errors, this one in the next resolution, in our resolutions themselves. So just
This
need
one,
to fix it.
Yep. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 2 is a resolution amending Resolution 205-2022, approving resolution of support for Kirchen Cannabis LLC, which erroneously provided that Kirchen Cannabis LLC was purchasing the property known as Block 264, Lot 2.03, 600 G Street, when in fact it intends to lease the same.
Make a motion.
Second motion.
A motion and a second on resolution number 2. Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 3 is a resolution awarding professional services contract to Triad Associates for CDBG Advisor for the period from June 21st, 2022 to December 31st, 2022, and an amount not to exceed $30,000.
Move the resolution.
Second motion.
We have a motion and second on resolution number 3. Any comments?
Yes, you guys will remember we had CME doing the CDGB stuff, and since they subcontracted out to Triad, we decided to eliminate that red tape and just go directly with Triad and eliminate the middleman, so to speak.
Yes, much smoother process.
Commissioner, you have certification of funds in front of you. Vice Mayor?
Vice
You have
Mayor.
Certification of funds.
Say that again.
Do you have certification of, yeah, just to make.
Yeah, I do, right here.
Just to put it on the record.
$30,000.
Okay, I didn't know if you said it or not.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't say it.
It's on the second
Certified
page.
by Marcella Sepper, our CFO.
Thank you.
Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 4 is a resolution to adopt procedures for administration and inspection of federal aid highway projects.
Move the resolution on item number 4.
Second.
A motion and a second on resolution number 4. Any comments? Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 5 is a resolution amending resolution number 203-2022 to restrict the number of cannabis locations in lieu of the number of letters of support.
Make a motion.
Second the motion.
A motion and second on resolution number 5. Any comments?
Yes. You'll see that some cannabis facilities are cultivation facilities. In addition, we know there's different kinds of licenses, right? The cultivation and manufacturing. Sometimes there'll be micro cultivation licenses. What this allows us to do is have those at a location rather than just issuing 15 letters of support. We issue for 15 locations. So the infrastructure requirements for one of those locations is the same, whether you're going to have 2 companies there or 1. So hence the reason to change from number of letters of support to number of locations. And it still restricts the number.
Right, so if the location is cultivating and manufacturing, they're gonna have 2, they still have to require 2 separate letters of support, but within the same facility. So
same-
if we
correct,
restrict it
same
to 15 letters of support, that
Diminishes.
doesn't.
Maybe two growers operating in the same location, right?
Right.
But it's still same requirements, same burden upon the city, no matter how many are located at that particular location, I guess is what I'm getting at, so. That's the
Sure.
reason for the change.
Location versus letters.
Correct. You might have more than one company in a location.
Correct.
Where instead of letters of intent, which may, of the number of companies in that, you might have 2 or 3 in one location. We changed it to of locations of letters of intent to that company.
Support.
Of support.
Yeah, I think we have a number of large warehouse buildings in the city that are not being utilized right now. And I think this would allow more than one operator within the same square footage envelope of the building.
Correct.
Correct.
Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 6 is a resolution amending the professional service agreement with W.E. Johnson Engineering to award an additional amount not to exceed $70,000.
Move the resolution. And I have certification of funds in the amount of $70,000.
Second motion.
A motion and second on resolution item number 6. Any comments?
Yes, on this certification of funds, I do have the breakdown of where the money's coming from. I know somebody asked something about that. So 20,000 is coming out of the engineering budget. 20,000 is for the pumping station, which is out of CARES Act or COVID funds, and 30,000 is out of sewer operations.
Thank you.
That's about it.
Roll call.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Item 8 is a resolution authorizing a public fireworks display by Pyrotechnico at a cost of $5,000 to be conducted at Lakeside Middle School between the approximate hours of 9 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. on August 2nd, 2022. The police department has secured funding to cover the remaining balance. This is for National Night Out.
I move the resolution, and with that, I have certification of funds for the contract amount of $5,000, certified by our Chief Financial Officer.
Second.
I have a motion and second on resolution number 8. Any comments?
Yes. National Night Out is put on and sponsored by Public Safety, and as the resolution states, the police department is paying for the fireworks, and that money comes from different operations, drug seizures and stuff like that. There is a fund available. So just wanted to make that clear.
It's
That's
in
all.
coordination with the Parks Department. It's
Yep.
by partisan representatively entities.
Let's work together, guys.
Don't have all the fun, Commissioner Hewitt.
We'll see you in
It's
the
going to be a great
we shall-
night. Let's see
we
everybody
shall-
August 2nd.
We shall see you, Commissioner Romnick, in the dunk
In the
tank.
dunk tank.
Yes, because we spent 2 hours in it last year. We, as in myself and the mayor.
Yes. Dunk
Welcome to
tank.
our party.
You had fun as private citizens, didn't you, last year? That was great. So did I. I stayed dry.
Any other comments? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 9 is a resolution authorizing the renewal of a home consortium cooperation agreement between the City of Vineland, City of Millville, City of Bridgeton, Fairfield Township, and Pittsgrove Township for the purpose of receiving home funds for fiscal years 2023 through 2025.
Move the resolution.
Second motion.
A motion and second on resolution number 9. Any comments?
Yes, this is renewal of an agreement, and what this does is allow design of home ownership programs to help meet our housing needs.
This is run through our Vineland, work with Vineland to run our homes program through CDBG, and then they just need us to approve this, and that's what that is. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
To new business.
Okay, I just need a motion to authorize the city clerk to advertise to receive bids for the demolition of former Rescue Squad Building, 300 Columbia Avenue, Millville, New Jersey, project by 10 a.m. on Thursday, July 7th, 2022, at 12 South High Street, Millville, New Jersey.
I make a motion for new business item number 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on new business number 1. Any comments?
Yes, we am glad to see this happen.
Absolutely.
It's
I
taken a
second
long
that.
time. I want to thank the engineering department for working on the bid specs for a long time, getting the asbestos survey done, and it'll be interesting to see what it comes down for. And the book's about 1.5 inches thick for the bid spec, so
Knock it
a
down.
lot of work went into that.
Yeah, to harken on Vice Mayor's comments, this is a step moving forward and of what we're doing here as your elected officials to the city. This is a site that needs to be torn down and should have been torn down a long time ago. It'll be great of putting our foot forward into the future and redeveloping that area.
Thank you. Roll call?
Commissioner Hewitt?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Sui?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek, or sorry, excuse me, Commissioner McQuaid?
Yes.
Commissioner Romanek?
Yes.
Mayor Orndorff?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries.
You have us trained. He didn't say yes without being his name called in order. All right, so we have now reached the public comment portion of the meeting. If anyone would like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name, address, and your concerns. Please limit your comments to approximately 5 minutes.
Thank you.
Greg Kears, Millville. Just a quick question for Commissioner McQuaid. With the bags,
Yes.
I prefer the paper recyclable yard waste bags. Does that matter?
No, it doesn't matter. You can do plastic or paper at this time.
Okay. The other thing is, please, if we see a snowmobile, don't impound it. I just want to see it.
Just be careful on it.
I just had to read the ordinance, Craig.
one driving around.
I know.
Believe
It's
it or
gonna have
not,
to have a
that's
snow
that's happened
machine
before,
attached to
Greg.
it.
That's actually happened before, Greg. I'll tell you about it after the meeting.
Joe Sutherland, I'm here first off as the coordinator of the Millville Municipal Alliance Committee. I'm sorry I missed the last commission meeting. I'm not really sorry. I was in Puerto Rico having a good time.
You were excused.
Glad we watched this on
But
YouTube.
I appreciate you approving the grant for taking our kids up to the New Jersey State Elks Peer Leadership Conference. We'll be able to take 14 kids up with that grant. And if the Elks kick in there, 3 or 4 kids, we'll be able to take 17, 18 kids up to it for a weekend of workshops on leaderships and prevention of drug abuse. And that's what we're about. We're finishing up this year now. July 1st starts our next year, and as always, we appreciate the support that we've had from you and look forward to you supporting us in the years to come. And also on that grant, that's going to be a 3-year project, but each year will be a different grant. So we're looking at being able to, for the next 3 years, to take 14 to 18 kids up to this program. And I haven't found a kid that didn't learn something and have a good time and meet people from all over the state. There's between 450, 500 students that go up to that program that the Elks put on. They've been doing it for 30 years or so. And it's very well run. And again, thank you very much. And I had something I was going to ask you personal, but I don't remember it, so we're going to pass on that. Damn. Thank you.
You need another vacation, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
John Worthington, again. I didn't come here for a back and forth, but Mr. Suey's publicly alleged that there are, quote, rules not being followed by the zoning board, including filing reports to the commission, and he intimated that that is potentially cause for removal of a zoning board member. However, as you should know, that is not the responsibility of the zoning board members. That's the responsibility of the city professional staff, which has been a revolving door for many months. Zoning board members are not responsible for city clerical work. That's under the control of the city commissioners. For many months, we've been asking at the zoning board meetings for the commission to fill the positions that needed to be filled, including secretary and planner. This issue has been raised at several zoning board meetings, including the June meeting, which was the first you attended, Mr. Suey, this year. And we specifically asked at that meeting for the city commission to provide the required staffing.
What I would advise you to do is read this 40:55D, and in it you will find that the zoning board is responsible for hiring those individuals, including appointing the secretary. You're supposed to be asking us for the budget to do that. That hasn't been done in my tenure either this time or last time. Additionally, there are reports concerning whatever variances you granted the zoning board in general that are supposed to be filed with the commission that haven't been filed with the commission for several years. So I'm not saying that we're going to remove anybody for doing that.
That's just not true, because
Will you let me finish, please? It is true. It's in the law.
It's not true that they're not been filed. It is in the law. Whether the city has properly filed them after we've approved them is beyond our control.
It states the zoning board is supposed to file, not the city is supposed to file, the zoning board is. Now, I'm not going to get in an argument with you here. I hope we never have to remove anyone from the zoning board, but I do hope that the zoning board follows the rules and follows the law. Now, in the zoning board's defense, I was given this by the mayor, and it's the training, and it's pretty much inadequate. So that's why I'm suggesting, and you can borrow my copy, or I'll even get you a copy of this so you guys can read it and have it. I realize you have legal counsel, but you guys should know what it says in here as well, so those rules can be followed, and hopefully they will be followed, and hopefully we won't ever have to remove anyone. But while you are a quasi-independent board, you also have a responsibility to follow the rules.
We do.
Well, I respectfully disagree. I respectfully disagree when I look for reports that are supposed to be filed by the zoning board, and they're not filed. So if you have a copy of those reports, or somebody on the zoning board has those reports, please forward them to us.
Every member of the board has the report, and they were filed they were approved to be filed. We don't have the ability to hire a secretary.
It states in this book that the zoning board is to hire. It does not have to be a city employee. It can actually be a member of the zoning board. It says in the simple book, not the large book, that the zoning board is in charge of appointing their secretary.
It's traditionally, in this city, the city provides the secretary, the board approves the secretary that the city has provided.
And you will see us, as when we pass this ordinance, to come in compliance with state statute. That's the reason we are coming in compliance with the state statute. I hope that while we were out of compliance with the state statute and we are taking steps to correct it, that the zoning board would also take steps to correct where they are out of compliance with the state statute. Now, if you need money in the budget to hire the requisite experts and to hire the secretary, please ask us.
But I'm confused because you just earlier approved hiring a secretary.
Yes, because you don't have one. So we can't stop the wheels from spinning. We can't stop numerous projects that are going on. You don't have the budget to do it now, correct?
We don't have the
You don't
ability, we don't have the ability to hire.
You actually do. You just don't have the budget to do it. You have the ability, you have the responsibility to do it.
Without a budget, you have no ability. And the fact that the city just hired someone shows that it's the city's responsibility to hire someone.
Actually, the law provides that the board appoints its professionals. The law also provides that the city is required to fund the cost of those people who are appointed. That's what's supposed to happen. Unfortunately, that hasn't always happened in the past. And I know that when I first came here, I know there was an issue with that because the governing body was appointing the solicitor, and that is not the way it's supposed to work. The board appoints its solicitor, not the governing body.
That was the question I had, was the funding. The funding goes through a budget, basically set up for the zoning board, if I'm correct. And
There's a
then the
line up,
zoning
right.
board controls, they have the ability and the authority with what we're doing to
They have the
hire
appointment power.
their secretary.
Yeah.
They do, I know they do already appoint their solicitor. Okay, that's the
Yes, we
questions
fixed
I
that.
have.
We
We
fixed that
also
a few
appoint
years
the
ago.
secretary that the city has traditionally supplied.
Well, I understand.
Since I've been on the board, the city has supplied the secretary.
I understand what you're talking about with tradition, correct? So I'm also reading the law and we're not in compliance with it. So we need to be in compliance with the law, as does the zoning board. So I'm not saying go remove Mr. Worthing tomorrow from the zoning board.
I'm not
Correct? No,
concerned,
but I'm
I'm not
just saying,
concerned
right?
about myself, Joe.
I'm not trying to remove the zoning board, all right? I'm trying to help you comply with the law as we are complying with the law. So what I'm saying is, please comply with the law. We'll help you comply with the law.
It probably would have been a little, since you have expressed such an interest in coming to the zoning board meetings, it probably would have been a good idea to have a discussion with the zoning board.
Well, since you're supposed to be a quasi-independent body, I don't want to influence any decisions or influence your actions at a zoning board meeting, because I don't want the city to get sued because a member of the commission was there using his influence to change your position in a decision.
Can I ask a question? I mean, you don't have a secretary. You're going to get a secretary. So the situation is resolved, basically, that you're going to get a secretary, he's going to pay for it, and it's over. I mean, there's no sense in arguing about this. I mean, it's a dead issue. I mean, to me, it seems like people are just upset because somebody stepped on somebody's toes. And it's getting a little arguing back and forth. Now, I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying it's going to get solved. And he's not getting rid of anybody, so he says, okay, you're going to get what you need there. He's paying for it. So everything's solved. We should all be happy.
The bottom
I
line
mean,
is
I'm just
all
trying to
com-
be, because
We
it's getting,
should.
I'm sitting here listening to this, and it's like two people arguing back and forth.
And
That's all
we're
it's getting
coming
to.
into compliance.
So
Thank you.
let's come in compliance with the law, right? Everybody come in compliance with the law and we move on.
I mean, I
you.
kept quiet here long enough, and it's like two people arguing back and forth, and it's been resolved.
And if you look in the city's filing cabinets, you'll find those annual reports.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Seeing nobody else, we'll close the public comment portion, and we'll go to closing comments of commissioners.
Yes, once again, congratulations to Millville Senior High School class of 2022. And the next event, which is this Saturday, June 25th, Waltman Park, 2 o'clock, for the adoption ceremony by the Positive Vibe Community Group. That is all, Mayor.
Thank you.
Once again, I'm just going to announce that we have a job opening for streets and roads for mechanics. The reason I keep pushing this is because we've had the interviews. We had people come in for interviews. A few we didn't pick. A few we did pick, and they decided not to come. So I'm in need of filling that spot, and applications need to be put in by June 27th, by 4:30 that date. So if you know anybody who's out there watching, please let them know. Go on the city website and please fill out an application. Again, with the leaves, yes, you can put the leaves out there with bags or paper, and brush, please put it back in your yard until August, the second week of August, and then you can start putting them back out again. With that, thank you.
Thank you.
The only thing that I forgot to say when I was talking about Police Youth Week, that is at no cost to the family or the child that's going. Everything is covered by the county prosecutor and the county police departments. Let's see if we can get it hasn't gone on for 2 years because of COVID. If anybody has grandkids or something, let's get them enrolled.
My turn.
It's your turn.
So I spent about an hour and a half on the phone with the DEP the other day concerning Manatico closures. Had a very nice and cordial conversation and agreed about nothing I said, and I agree with nothing they said. So the bottom line is, got nowhere, but it was a good conversation. I understand their problems concerning Manning, concerning the commission, the DEP commission of Fish and Game shutting it down. I don't agree with the decision. I spoke to our senator, state senator about it, so hopefully, you know, he could probably have more influence than me, but that's probably not going to be very fruitful either, as the way it's structured for Fish and Game. So, you know, we did what we could. We're limited in what we could do. But hey, we gave it a shot. I did speak to one of our freeholders today. I asked them to try to do the same thing we did, so we'll see if they do that.
County
County
Commissioners?
Commissioners.
Commissioner, I'm sorry.
Just to clarify.
Yeah, so, you know, old stuff sticks in my head.
Grandpa.
I know, I just wanted to clarify for you.
So there we go.
Appreciate it.
Progress.
Thank you. I think everybody covered everything for me this evening, so I appreciate everybody coming out, everybody watching. I really hope to see everybody at National Night Out and 4th of July. More so because I really think we should get Commissioner Romanek in the dunk tank.
Yeah,
this
and
year.
I have a larger dunk tank coming if it's needed.
You got me in the
So,
lake, you're going in the dunk tank.
Maybe we
I
have
went
other
under
commissioners go
in
in
the
too.
freezing cold lake.
We paid our dues.
Yes. Well, thank you all again for coming out. Stay safe, stay cool. God bless and have a great night. May I have a motion for
I make a motion
adjournment?
to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.